We're live. Check, check, check. Hopefully you guys can hear me. Johnny Nerd out here doing the first ever live broadcast to literally, well, almost dozens of people. So that'll be a huge thing. If you're new to this channel, I'm Johnny Nerd Out. I convert bikes into e-bikes. Take normal bikes, turn them into e-bikes. Sorry, my head's getting all chopped up. And yeah, so we're just doing a little live video here. It's a little special live video because we hit 20,000 subscribers. They said we couldn't do it. We did it. And we did it. Actually, nobody said that. Nobody even knew I had a channel. But we're going to celebrate by doing a Q&A for subscribers. So if you're a subscriber, excellent. Thank you for confirming that you could hear me. I'm not just pantomiming like an old silent film from the 20s. What's up, Don? So yeah, we're gonna do Q&As. If you guys have any questions, feel free, chat them up at the top there. I'll try to do my best. Why am I getting all fuzzy? There we go. We're gonna have tons of technical errors. So yeah. Morning, Steve. Hey, Robbo. What's up? So yeah, we started doing some cool things. Started doing consultations, and I found out that I've been getting a lot of similar questions, and so I want to make videos on those questions because I know if one of you guys have a question, there's probably 1,000 people out there that have that same question. So there are no dumb questions. It's a cliche, but it's true, because a lot of people are like, even if it's something stupid, you're like, that's so dumb. Why can't I figure this out? Ask it. I bet you there's another 1,000 people out there that are doing an install, thinking about doing an install. They have that same question. Hey Tom. What's up, Samir? Hey Chuck. Hey, yeah. Hey, no worries, man. Thanks, Doug. What's up? Yeah, and check it out. Got these in on Thursday. This is gonna be the first of a couple of shirts. It's kind of cool. We got swag going. I don't know. Does that mean I'm a sellout? I can't tell, but I think it's kind of cool. I think it's just kind of cool of like how much we've kind of like organically grown without sponsors or I don't know, just weird stuff. It just totally homegrown. It's pretty cool. Let's see. So I'm gonna be trying to not like super awkwardly look and read the chats, but it's gonna be a little bit. Hey, Patience, what's up? Let's see. It's not working. Okay. All right, anyways, it's going to be a little awkward. But, okay, if you guys got questions, feel free to just shout them out. Maybe if you guys don't want to, you don't have to. I'm just going to keep talking. Okay, here we go. Steven, new subscriber. Love your videos. Starting an e-bike business. Yeah, I got a video coming out kind of talking about that, like how I got into it, and maybe you can avoid the pitfalls. But definitely, if you know bikes, just learn bikes. I didn't really know like a whole bunch about bikes when I first started professionally working in e-bikes, which was kind of crazy. But I worked for pretty much minimum wage for like 2 years at a bike shop, at an e-bike conversion shop, learning under one of my good friends, Brad, now that pretty much taught me everything about bikes. So no bikes. Then no voltages, no motor systems. Take time, really nerd out. I know I just scratched the surface with a lot of my videos, but I do want to start kind of digging deeper and kind of getting into the weeds more, because there's such a vast, there's like a pool of people. Some people that just are getting into it, they're just like, I want to buy an e-bike. They don't know anything about e-bikes. And then there's some people that are this short of building their entire motor from scratch, and it's kind of hard to cater to everyone. So no bikes, go internship at a bike shop. Um, just learn bikes, find a place like me locally, and just volunteer your time and build bikes for them and make mistakes, but make it on somebody else's watch. Um, Initial cost though is not much. Just buy tools. I did, man, when I first started, like seriously, it was a joke. Like I would just buy a tool a week, and until then, I would just be using like my Husky tools. I would go to Home Depot as I needed the tool. I would order it. I would wait for that tool to come in. So it was just literally for me, it was almost no startup because I had no money. I had no money to put into it. So with my very first conversion that I did, I I did half down. I used that money to buy the parts and components. I didn't even have an inventory. So it's probably not the way to do it. But if you have money, I feel like I'm just rambling. No, let me ask some other questions. Um, but long story short, you need like $1,000 maybe. If you want to kill it, $1 million would probably make life easier, doesn't it always? Um, hey Mimi, thanks man. Red Rover B. Yeah, hey Doug. Red Rover 5, pretty much any bike can be converted to a mid-drive. I get asked that a lot too, where it's like, hey, I bought this old hub-powered bike. I got it for a cheap thing. I saw your video, and now you ruined my life because you made me question all of my decisions on life. And no, that's not my point. My point is not to like make you regret. But if you are to that point where hey, that red power it worked out great for you, but now you're like, hey, I want more power. You totally can convert it, and you can even use your old battery system. Check out my videos. I do a lot of custom builds because I get a lot of people bringing me those bikes that are like, I spent $2,500 on this hub power bike, but I live on a hill, and now it doesn't get me home. I have to walk it up the hill, and I've done a few of those builds, and I've made videos on them converting them, and it's totally do it. Oh, hey, what's up? I would like to know what the main differences between the displays. There's a lot of different displays. I feel like there's like one coming out every couple months. I think we're up to like 15 or 20 different displays, and there's even third-party displays coming out. Main differences though are black and white versus color, whether it's going to show you your battery voltage in a digital readout like a voltmeter versus just like a generic gas gauge. Some of them are going to show you what kind of power your motor is drawing from the battery in real time. And some of them are going to have Bluetooth capability. So you could either turn your display into a giant screen speedometer, like the egg riders. You could actually program your controller from your phone. You don't need a programming cable. But with the egg rider, there's lots of other problems as well that go with it, whether it's worth it. But they have a new 750C Bluetooth that comes out, and you could actually link it to your navigation now, which I want to get those in so I could do a video on that. So it'll actually show you like turn right here. It's kind of cool. All right, sorry, I'm missing some comments here. Sorry, guys. And just so you know, too, comments, this is like a way to thank my subscribers. So if you are a subscriber, go ahead and post questions on the right. I'm doing my best to get to them. If I don't get to them, I'm sorry. Hey, thanks, Doug. Dude, you're the man. That's nice of you. Look at that. Thanks, Doug. Appreciate that. Baked and awake. Bikes are the best. You know it, brother. We used our battery welder last night. Oh, cool. I was actually thinking about getting a battery welder. So it runs off of batteries, if I'm not correct. Well, I guess you could be using the spot welder to weld batteries, but they also have welders that run off of batteries to weld batteries. It's kind of like, it's a little inception-ish. All batteries. Good to see you, Smala. Hey, yeah, man, for sure. Hey, so if your bike is done, I meant to text you last night. Got it right here. I should turn the camera over. So after this is done, I'm going to be sending you out a text, and I'll be talking to you. Your bike is ready to roll, my man. Yeah. So I also do, just to get back, I do consultations now, guys. It got crazy for a while. I was just having people call me and showing up at my door just to ask me questions. And it was getting a little chaotic. It was just like, it was too much. So my wife brilliantly set up a consultation so you could schedule it. I don't double book anybody. There's a small fee for it, but if you end up, going with a build with me, or you end up buying a motor from me, I just credit that money right back to you. So it's not really like a big loss. But if you have a question, or you're like, I'm stuck, I need help, like I could help bail you out or help you, point you in a good direction for a small fee for 20 minutes. It's like $20 for 20 minutes, but I'll credit that back to you if you buy. So just want to let you know, if I don't get to your question here, I could also do a consultation with you and do one-on-one and really focus in. Yeah, Death Star. Yeah, let's see. Maybe I will get to 50K. Who knows? Took a mountain bike, making it in cruiser style. Yeah, I've done that a few times too, where you just put new handlebars on it and make it into like a comfort cruiser. That's the way to go, especially if you got a good front suspension on it. Hey, well done, Jenny. Jenny? I think you're on the wrong channel. Just checking. Hey, man. Thanks, Steven. That's pretty nice of you. I appreciate that very much. I don't even know how that works. How are you doing that? But somebody just sent a little donation. That's really cool. Thanks, Steven. Let's see. Hey, no worries, Christopher. I know. So I get a lot of my consultations. The questions are like, I'm a bigger guy. I want to lose my weight. I want to get back down to where I was. What do I do? And I put a video out this morning, and every time I post a video, I'm always like, I should have gone back and I should have added more. I should have done more. There's so much, like I said, you're scratching the surface. And yeah, there's so many more options. I always just kind of give vague things on my video, which I feel bad about. I need to start doing more. I'm just so slammed. If I turn the camera around, you'll see I got bikes everywhere in here. I got another garage that's full of bikes as well. I know I'm making excuses. This is the excuse factory. That's what this is. Johnny Nerd Out's excuse factory. Will it's 42 tooth narrow wide keep the chain ring from falling off of the fat puppy stuff? Yes, definitely. The Lecky bling rings. If your chain is falling off all the time, when you're going over that single track over rough rock and it's just constantly popping off, get a Lecky. That what is it called? Narrow wide chain profile. It grabs onto the chain like glue, like stick them. It really helps that chain to stay on. Also, going with a bigger one, I found if you go with like a 28 tooth, it's going to help a little bit. You go with a 36 tooth, it's going to do a little bit better. Incrementally, like 52 tooth, that thing is just going to grab onto that chain. Also, making sure that you have the correct chain length is a big thing too. If you have chain slack, that's going to make it pop off all the time. I did an electric mountain bike race, I think, was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago? And I think my chain popped off 20 times throughout the race. Probably cost me 6-7 minutes. I'm still so mad about that race because I feel like I could have done so much better if I didn't have to get off the bike, put the chain back on and then jump back on and keep going. Probably 20 times it fell off. And I didn't have a Lecky on it. This was before I was like a big Lecky guy. And now I'm like, I should have gotten a Lecky. Yes, big difference for sure. I have a problem with speed limiting. You might want to, Samir, you might want to get a programming cable. It could be something that your controller is overriding the display. I always just recommend getting a programming cable. It's so cool to get into that motor and pull up that software and see all the parameters and know exactly what your motor's doing and to tinker with it. Like, honestly, do it once and you'll be, yeah, just get a Bafang programming cable. It's so cool. For a 400-pound person, I'd probably get like a 4.8-inch tire, or possibly, like I said, those day 6 bikes are made for retired football players, who are just, big people, 6'8", 400 plus, I would strongly recommend looking into a day 6 bike and putting those Tannis tire inserts in there so that you're not getting flat tires. Just in general, not anything really to do with weight, but flats suck. Hey Bob, let's see. Hey, thanks, appreciate that. To go with disc brakes. So if you've got an old bike that has rim brakes, I get that asked the question a lot too. I want to convert them into disc brakes. Unless your frame has the tabs for a disc brake caliper, you're going to be doing some major fabrication to weld disc brake caliper onto your frame, and usually it's aluminum. Unless you have a steel frame, that's going to be kind of tricky. Where was I going? Sorry, I'm looking at the chat thing. My wife is also helping me do some moderating and adding some text and stuff, so not magically texting, she's helping me out here. But yeah, so if you want to change to disc brakes, you have to either rebuild your front wheel or just get a new front wheel that has a rotor built into the hub. And then you also have to get a disc brake caliper on their front fork. So sometimes it's not worth it. Sometimes it's just it's a new excuse, good excuse to start fresh with a new bike. Pardon me. I'm going to be talking a lot. Man, this is awesome. Thank you guys so much for coming out here. This is so cool. First of all, I just want to take a break real quick and just thank everybody for, I've never in my wildest dreams thought that I would hit 20,000 people would subscribe to freaking me. I mean, you've seen some of my videos. Some of them are just like, I don't know. Some like, especially my early ones, like I would just film it. I wanted to go over content versus like how well it looked. A lot of them were just me and my cell phone, just blah, 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 blah. And then boom, upload, no editing, literally on my back porch, just talking about stuff. I think this is really cool, and I'm so glad that I could help some people out there. No, I'm not like the expert on everything. I hope I don't come across as like a know-it-all. I don't want to be that. There's lots of people out there that are much smarter than me with a lot of things. But I know that I am capable of answering a lot of these questions, and I could help out a lot of you people, and I'm more than happy to do it. So I just think there's a lot of bad information out there, and they're really, working in the industry for 5 years and pretty much every aspect from sales to being the technician to seeing how everything is done really put a fire under me, and it really burned me. And I want people to be making good decisions. It just irks me. It really bothers me when I see people who spent $3,000 on a bike that should have costed $1,100 or at most. And that really bothers me. Some bikes are like $4,000. There's some brands out there, and a lot of you people know those brands that I don't know how in business, how people are still supporting it because they just don't know better. And I want them to know better. And you guys are also helping too. So thank you guys. And all right, I'll go back to this. And just again, if I don't get to your questions, I do consultations. Go to my website, go to book online. I do one-on-one consultations with you. It's 20 minutes, costs $20. If you end up buying a motor from me or doing a conversion, I'll give you that $20 back. So it's not like, it's not a total waste, hopefully. And I got shirts in, swag. Cool. I think I'm happy about it. Okay. Let's see. What are the difference between 750 and 1,000? Thanks, David. In weight and performance. How do I pitch? How do I pitch? I'm not sure what that means, but I'll tell you the difference in power. I do have a video up on the 750 and the 1,000 watt motor. The 750 watt is like 90% of that power. It's limited by 25 amps, but the 1,000 watt is limited to 30 amps. So you just times that by whatever battery you have, that voltage. So let's just do math easy, 50 volts. You're going to have 1,500 watts with the 1,000 watt and 25, what is that, like 1,250 or 1,300? Todd, I need you to do math for me here. Where are you? Hey, Jory, what's up? Yeah, dude, I got sweet sag. I got a sweet sag. That's not right. I got sweet swag. What's up, Jory? That's my homeboy. He's my biker from Pacific Northwest. Miss you, buddy. What were we talking about? Oh yeah, performance wise, and I've been commenting on this a lot for the 750 versus the 1000 watt. The biggest difference is going to be the chain rings, your gear ratios. I could take a 750-watt motor, put a 36 tooth Lecky up front, and have a 46 tooth in the rear for my low gear, and that thing is going to crazy outperform hill climbing on a 1000-watt motor with a incorrect gear ratio. The biggest thing is gear ratio, and I need to make a video just on that, showing all the different gear ratios. If you're going for hill climbing, you want like a 1-to-1 ratio or more. That means 36 up front and a 36 is your lowest gear. That thing's going to just climb hills. Obviously, there's other gear ratios involved with your tires. Those are also part of the equation for gear ratios. Your crank arms, those are also part of the equation. It depends on how nerdy you want to go in, but it's much easier and keeps your sanity if you just focus on that gear ratio. Hopefully that helps. Cool. Death Star got his bike done. You got a 29-inch that you're planning on. Anything different? No, not really. 29ers are a little bit easier. Those are kind of the ideal bike to do because you got a giant triangle to work with, and your frame is usually bigger on 29ers. So it's like if you ever worked on like a pickup truck, like an old pickup truck, then you open the hood and the engine bay and you can jump in there and work on it. It's kind of like that versus working on like a Honda Civic or something where you're like, holy crap, I'm never going to be able to change this oil. It's kind of like that. It's a little bit different, but a little bit different. Okay. Let's see. On a new Bafang, should you open the thing and grease the thing? Depends on who you talk to. Yes, if you're just like an anal person, absolutely. I would go in and I don't have my tub of grease with me. Why don't I have my tub of grease in me? Always be prepared. That's why I always walk around with a tub of grease in my pocket. See, that's why I do it. My wife always asks me why I have a tub of grease with me. Yes, I would put some synthetic Mobil 1 grease in there if you want right out of the bat. A lot of times they come with just like that white grease. It's cheap grease. It will make your motor start to make some noises after a while because those nylon gears are just going and they heat up, and then that grease just fails. It's like an oil change on your car. Heat will just ruin that grease. So yeah, I would definitely get some synthetic Mobil 1 grease, throw it in there, and it might be good for the rest of the life of that motor, depending on how you ride it. Baked and Wake! What's up? Thank you. I see a big green thing here. Have you much experience with the 60? Yeah. So I've done. Check out my Cyclone builds. They're, man. I had. I'm gonna go into a little story here. So I had a Saunders 36 volt that I hot rodded and I made it into a 48 volt, and that was like, I was like, whoa, this thing is woken up, and that's how I think like a 48 to a 52 volt is going to a 72 volt. I've built a 60 volt Cyclone build, and it was a little bit more peppier. It was definitely had a little bit more whoa, but man, that 72 volt, because when it's fully charged, it's 84 volts. That's almost double a 48 volt battery. That's just, I mean, it's noticeably angrier, especially on a Cyclone. So yes, be careful. I'm actually building. I'm still in the works of building my electric motorcycle, and I've got a 72 volt battery with that. You do definitely got to be more careful because a lot of times the cables, they just come off. They're bare cables. If those things arc, that's like arcing your home electric. You're almost getting that same voltage where boom, you could be in trouble. That will break skin. You could electrocute yourself. 48 volt, I don't think that's going to break your skin. I don't know if there's enough voltage to do that. I heard that you can, but I don't know. I've also heard other people say 72 volt is where you start getting dangerous. Okay. What's your opinion on third-party controller for BBS HD? Phase Runner, Ludicrous controller. How about these wear out the motors cookers? I have not added one to it, but just my general. So there's definitely trade-offs. I know that the new one that they came out with, Lunicycles, that one looks awesome, but I think it's crazy money. Like you're well over $1,000 just for your motor then at this point. And my view is if you want to get crazy performance, just go with a Cyclone. It's dollar for dollar the best value you will buy. It is not nearly as user friendly, but if you're just going for power, like you're like, I want to go 60 or I want to hill climb like a madman, go with a Cyclone. If you want high power, but you also want finesse, check out the CYC. That's going to be really expensive though too. You're still over $1,000. I have played with the Phase Runner. It is nice. Grid makes awesome products up there. They're just really smart. The Phase Runner is very programmable and it's very easy to program it. And you could do that with the Bafang. But I like having the control. The controller looks so nice inside the motor. Like it bolts right onto it. It looks so nice and it's pretty much waterproof. You could run that thing through anything. So I don't recommend doing it, but there's a lot of just crazy people out there, fanatics that are like, I want to do it. Then yeah, you should totally do it. Like if you got that little burning thing in the back of your head, like I want to hot rod this thing, you should probably scratch that itch and do it. The Phase Runner though, I think only peaks out at 40 amps. So, unless you're running 72 volts, you're not going to be getting crazy performance. I would go with probably a different controller. The best thing about that Phase Runner is it's super small. It's super clean looking, but the power capacity is not crazy. But if you want to do, 72 volt, 60 amps, something like that, you need to go with like a Kelly controller or, a Savvoton, however you pronounce it. Okay. Hey, sorry. What's your name? Bilkbury? I know it is all my fault. I get that a lot. People are like, "Hey, thanks a lot. I've now torn apart my bike and I'm building it. I'm getting it way over my head. Thanks a lot." But man, I think it's awesome that I always recommend building your own bike because how often do you get down by your bottom bracket or by your crank arms or by your rear cassette and actually look at those parts? Very rarely. But now you're getting in there and you're understanding how these parts work. And you're understanding that a bicycle is a very basic machine. There's two things to it. It's beautifully complex. It's simply complex. It's beautifully simply complex. There's not a lot to it. And it's perfect. It's beautiful how it all works. And I definitely recommend somebody getting in there, taking apart some things, rerunning a chain, just doing those basic things gets you like more intimate with it. I know I'm going weird here, but like with a car, people are like, oh yeah, people do it with a car. There's 3,000 parts on a car. With a bicycle, there's like 70. It's way easier. A learning curve is in a weekend. You can get to know how everything on your bicycle works. Car, you got to go to a trade school for that. I probably didn't answer your question. Sorry. I get going on a tangent. Good times, sparky times. Killed by the electric bike chair. The NEEV bike market, yeah. Hey Todd, what's up? Oh, I love that. The only thing, yeah, pretty much. I agree. 52 volt batteries are like just put a 52 volt battery on a BBS HD, something that has a 30 amp BMS, something that can handle 30 amps. Depending on how you ride, some people only need 30 amps for very peak occasion. Other times they're just riding it leisurely at like 15 miles an hour. Sorry about the lights, they're on motion detection. So it really depends. Batteries, man, I should do a whole thing just on batteries because I've got opinions on batteries, and I know some of you guys will totally disagree with me, but I think a lot of people buy batteries that are overkill, and I not necessarily that you could overkill on your battery. I think you should go overkill on your battery. Anyways, let's see. Uh, hey, what's up, Alan? Thanks, appreciate that. Yeah. Let's see what say an average Joe. An average Joe totally could. I would say I'm an average Joe. So I'm not I'm not somebody that like has a bunch of money from other stuff. Like I literally started this with zero money. And so yes, absolutely. If you're a bike enthusiast, if you're a bike nut, if you're somebody that can just talk e-bikes literally all day, every day, and you wake up in the middle of the night, you write down in your notebook ideas for e-bikes, you should be doing this. Absolutely. And I think there's so much room for more guys like me. It's insane that there's like 5 or 6 people like me doing this maybe on the planet. I find that insane. It's absolutely insane. Um, because there's totally room for more competition and there should be more competition. As much as I don't want competition. I want to be the only person doing this. No. But there's so much room and it's like a cool network. It's such a I don't know. Like I've met a lot of people just through YouTube. They're like, "Hey, I do it here," and they call me up on the phone. I talk to them, and it's so cool, man. Like I don't know. I think bike people are just they can be really cool. There's a certain amount of people that are like just super pretentious because of their knowledge and they they lord it over you and they make you feel like yeah, it's bike snobs. Like I don't ever want to be that, and I don't ever feel like I am that way. But I could understand that's probably how they feel too. So, oh man. Okay, let's see. Morning, George. Hey, I've been talking with you. Um, yeah, right now. So right now, lead times on a bike, man. If I got the bike right now, it's like 3 weeks. It just kind of depends. Some bikes, if there's like, it's like a factory line. I do them as they come in. Sometimes I could just be on a roll and I can knock them out like fairly quick. And I'm like, holy crap! Like I've knocked some out in like a few days before when they've gotten them to me. But that hasn't happened in a while. Now I've gotten like a pretty strong queue of build them up. I've got a strong queue of build them up. I got a strong queue building up. So it's about 3 weeks, I'd say. I'm trying to get that back down to 2 weeks. I want to get back down to like 1 to 2 weeks. I know in the winter it's going to be like, a week because I don't get that many. What do you think? Geared hub after the thing is running and a little experience like a Shimano, however they spell that. Shimano or Inguni? Inguni? What do you think of geared hub? Like an internally geared hub? I like them. I got a video up on that, on my thoughts on it. I ran a 5-speed Sturmey Archer on my electric bike for like 2,000 miles probably. And there's definitely pros and cons to it. Definitely the pros of running an internally geared hub are you can do a single speed chain, which is way stronger, which is, a lot of you guys are like, I want to run a belt to my belt, to my thing, to an internally geared. I'm like, might be better to do a single speed chain. I ran a single speed chain of mine for like 2,000 miles. I think I oiled it once in those 2,000 miles and it never broke. Single speed chains are they're strong. They're just very strong. I got grandpa's cough medicine. So yeah, I kind of recommend going with like probably a single speed chain. If you're gonna do an IGH. Okay, let's see. Vericycle. Cool. Yeah, not yeah. I know. I don't mean to beat up on hub motors, but they do act like a boat anchor. I don't know what else you could better way to say it. Oh, this is okay. Thanks, Lloyd. Lloyd, that's an excellent question. Thank you so much for asking that. I get this all the time. I need to make a video on it. Would a BBS HD conversion be okay on a carbon frame? People are like, I got a carbon frame. What do you think? And I have done conversions on a carbon frame, but I did a Cyclone build. BBS HDs. I wish I had one just loose laying around here. How they attach to your bike is they clamp on. There's like little teeth on there, and they clamp on. So the short answer is yes, you could. Would I do it? No, I wouldn't. And I would actually I would say no because carbon fiber is like it's like glass. I mean, it's really strong. It's definitely strong stuff, but it doesn't like to be like it'll shatter if you do something wrong. And if you over torque that thing, you could shatter your bottom bracket. But that could be an excellent video of me installing a BBS HD on a carbon fiber and then doing like a stress test on it, seeing how it works. But that being said, I've done cyclone on carbon fiber bikes because the cyclone, it threads on, and that carbon fiber, it was a full suspension bike. It had uh, the bottom bracket area was doubled up. I forget what they called it, reinforced, I guess they called it. And I put a cyclone on it. The cyclone it does clamp on, but it doesn't clamp on as strong. And it also attaches by a hose clamp to the down tube. So it's more held on by that way. So yes, you could. I would probably go with a cyclone, which is weird because it's way more power, which is kind of counterintuitive because you might do more damage to a frame in theory. Bafang should kick you down. Because of you, I built two 750-watt mid drives. Yeah, right. I don't know what that means. Sometimes I'm not good at interpreting text messages. Yeah. Hey, Death Star, have you thought about making a community page? So I have a forum. I mean, if that's what you mean, like go on my website, johnnynerdot.com. There's a forum. That was the whole point of that, where it was like, I can't answer for a while there, my phone was just constantly ringing and I was just sitting on the phone all day. And my wife was like, okay, you're not getting anything done. This has to change. So I started the forum page because, man, there's a tons of smart people. There's probably followers of me that are smarter than me when it comes to this stuff. And it was like, hey, I'm not getting paid to answer those questions. Why don't you answer them and not get paid too? But I think a lot of those people, they love just helping. And that's the thing. If you're like me, you just want to help out. I don't know what it is. There's like a genius that you want to try to give back. And some of those people just want to help out. And yeah, go to my forum page, ask questions there. And if you're able to answer a question, help somebody else out there for sure. Post pictures. If you ran into a solution to something, like the motor wouldn't fit in my bottom bracket, this is what I did. Take pictures of it. Help other people out. There's just not a lot of good information out there, I feel like, or the information is hard to find. And I'm trying to make videos on this stuff because videos are worth 1,000 words. And if you could put a picture up there, that's awesome. Stop. Thanks, man. Thanks, Thop42. Appreciate that. Big love. Big love. That's me not making a TP, but I smashed my finger with a drill hanging this sheetrock behind me the other day, and I can't bend it. It's my middle finger, of course. A strong cue of build-up. I know, it sounds like I need to go to a doctor. I talk really bad. I bought from AliExpress 36-volt 20-amp triangle with USB for $270. Yeah, I mean, you could get like good prices out there. Obviously, those are generic cells. Hopefully, they were manufactured by a good manufacturer. That's the one thing about batteries too. Is people are like, I want these cells. Like, just as important as the cells that are in the battery is who's making that battery, who's literally welding those cells together, fitting them in a case. If you ever take apart batteries, you'll start to see like who put this together. Why? Like some of it's just crudely glued together. And I'm not saying you got that for that. Hopefully you got it from a good, reputable manufacturer and the battery was put together well. But that's just as important versus like cell quality is who put it together. That's why a lot of people build their own packs because they're like, I can't trust that some teenager in a different country put together this battery well. Can you M625? Yes, I got a couple of videos coming up on that. That's the new Bafang motors. Got the 325s and the 625s. I just got my 325s in. I'm still waiting for the batteries. So the new Bafangs are kind of interesting because supposedly you have to use the Bafang batteries with them, which is interesting. I guess they put like a chip or something in it. So we'll see how that works out. But they are big batteries, which is good and bad. Um, they're like over 900 watt hours. So you're not going to have range anxiety. And I think they're using premium cells. So you don't have to worry about getting poorly made battery packs or anything like that, or range anxiety. But you're not going to be putting it on any full suspension bikes because they're giant packs. They're way bigger than my normal 17.5 amp hour ones. These ones are just way bigger. I don't know why they're so big, but hopefully they work on that and they trim them down. But the good news is those new Bafangs, so they come with a weird chain ring. And I'm doing a spoiler alert. I'm going to do an unboxing of the batteries I got, but I did open up because somebody did a chat with me. Sorry, I'm spacing on your name now. Dude, I love doing consultations with you people. I love getting to know you guys and just talk e-bikes. It's insane. I love it. This is like the best job in the world. But anyways, those new Bafangs motors, they will work with the BBS HD Lecky chain rings. I took one off and I put it on there and it will. I'll confirm it when I actually do my full unboxing. I'll bolt one on there just to fully confirm, but unofficially, there's talk about those new chain rings are just horrendous with the new Bafang lineups. But the Leckys do work with it. Let's see. Can I use a battery I build myself with a new motor? I don't think so. Nope, not at the moment. Not until you figure out what kind of thing they put in it that tricks it into thinking. I'm gonna move this. How's that? Sorry, everybody. Cyclone fit on a carbon fiber unicycle. You son of a gun! You made me read that out loud. I'm like Ron Burgundy. I'll read anything if it's written. Does hub motors require maintenance? Yes, pretty much every motor required. You should. It's definitely recommended that you lube up your motor. If you're not using it much, you're probably fine. But yeah, I'd lube it up. I'd put some Mobil 1 synthetic automotive grade grease from like AutoZone. Open that bad boy up and just try to clean out the old grease that they put in from the factory. That's probably crap, especially if you bought a cheap hub motor. It's probably like mayonnaise that they put in there to lube up that motor. I would wipe that out and put in some actual grease. Yeah, hey Rory, what's up, man? Appreciate your comments too, like even on the YouTube channel. Thanks for everybody else who chimes in with like helpful comments to help other people. Like it's awesome. Love it, man. You guys are good people. And that's the other thing, man. Like I want to put together a bike ride to meet up with a lot of you people. I know I do a lot of consultations and a lot of you people are just you're my bread and butter. Like I'm like, you guys are just good people. I want to meet up. I want to do like a ride where we all, I don't know, maybe I rent a Winnebago and I just bring my bike and we just like go to Boston, to California, to New Mexico and just do electric bike rides. And just rehash, guys. If I don't get to your comment here, I want to get every comment I can. You could book a consultation with me on my website, and I could literally do a video call with you, phone call with you, answer your questions. If you've got burning questions about burning, that doesn't sound right. Book a consultation with me. And I'll do one-on-one stuff with you, and I'll get you squared away. If you got questions about how to build your bike, if you're hung up on a build, you got problems with your wife, family issues, book a consultation with me. I am not a licensed therapist, but sometimes just talking about e-bikes, solves marital problems. I have nothing to base that off of, but I have reasons to believe it's true. Okay. Tesla should make battery packs for e-bikes. I agree. I think pretty much every and I think Tesla should get into the e-bike business. They should stop building cars, because I truly think that e-bikes are the future, not e-cars. But anyways, never seen a Trek 7.2 FX converted. I have not. Um, yeah, so check your rim brakes. Just do they work? Put new pads on it, put new cables on it. You could do the work yourself. That's like $15 to put a new cable in and new pads. If your rim brakes work good, go for it. Send it. What range do you get with your 17.5 amp hour battery? Depends on how I ride. When I did my ride from Portland to Astoria, I was probably getting, I had a different size battery. I had a 26 amp hour battery on it, but I was getting over 100 miles on it because I was going for range. So I would say I could get 70 miles out of a 17.5 amp hour battery, but realistically, I probably get around 40 because usually I ride fast. Usually I'm in a hurry. If I gotta go run some errands, I'm like, oh, I gotta go to Home Depot and get something. I'll jump on my bike and I'll run. It's like 3 miles away, and I try to get there quick. It just seems like rarely do I have time to just stop and smell the roses lately, which sucks. But um, e-bike rally, that's what's up. That's what I'm talking about, man. I think that's going to be the thing. Is like spreading awareness when we come and ride through towns. In Portland, I miss doing the TNR rides. That was like, I love the TNR rides and doing, uh, uh, doing Pedalpalooza in June. That was like the best. I feel like I never even heard of that before I met. Um, Sorry, I got distracted by a thing. But yeah, Pedalpalooza, I never heard of that before I moved to Portland. And I was like, this is insane. I know people everywhere would be loving doing this, doing 100. Well, come on, I paid my bill. People everywhere. I know there's bike enthusiasts everywhere. I would love to just like come through and spread Pedalpalooza to across the country. That's like it's the best thing. I'd like to see how to open up mid. Yeah, I need to do a video on her because my motor's actually starting to make some noise, and I want to do a long range ride, and I need to get it lubed up. So I'll be posting a video soon on how to open up the motor, how to lube it. That will be coming up soon because I'm going to be doing a ride from Salt Lake to Vegas, hopefully soon, and I need to get my bike prepped up. Yeah, some bacon grease. You get a nice little sandwich. So every time your motor gets hot, it smells like a barbecue. Just put some ketchup in your motor and everything. That's pretty sweet. What is the best heavy duty chain for BBS HD motor on a fat bike? Great question. I know KMC makes e-bike rated chains. I'm gonna be making videos on that, but I don't know, man. Honestly, I feel like get like a decent KMC normal bike rated chain and buy two of them. You could probably get like two of them at the same price as one e-bike rated chain, and it'll last you way longer. Like a normal chain might last you 1,200 miles, where an e-bike chain might last you 1,600 miles. Just that mathematician in me, I'm like, it's a better value to just buy two regular chains and have one on you all the time, just in case. You never know. You don't want to be out there with a broken chain. That sucks. So keep an extra $11 chain on you, or just even like the master link. But I would keep a whole extra chain because you never know. Sometimes you might mangle that thing up real bad, and it's best to just have a whole chain. Dick fling hammer, that's the best. If you end up with a third shift China battery, sometime you luck out. Yeah, you never know. You never know if like the person building your battery was having a bad day or was like, I don't know. I don't know. Wake and Bake, Luis Rossman's channel. I don't know anything about that. Never even heard of it. Right to repair in general. I'm not really too familiar, but that's interesting. Send me a message or something. Um, just by that title, you've piqued my interest. Rory, what's up? If you consider the price, the fact the battery specific, would you still go with the? I don't have enough uh, just real world miles on those new motors. I don't think anybody does because they just got out. I pre-ordered mine like 2 months ago and I just got them. Still waiting for the batteries to come. So time will tell. I'd like to put like a year of real world mileage through those new motors to see what the differences are. Thoughts on the TSDZ2? Torque sensing is definitely nice. It's definitely the smartest system out there for torque sensing. Is it needed? Check out my video on cadence sensing versus torque sensing. I kind of give you my thoughts on that. I think it's definitely nicer, but I don't think it's needed. Definitely not. And I think that TDZ it's a small motor. I don't know. I just feel like it's more prone to burn up. And it just depends on how you ride though. If you don't ride very hard or fast ever, it's a fine motor. It's great. I just like the Bafangs because it's the #1 selling motor system in the entire world. It's ubiquitous. If you ever want replacement parts for it or add-ons or accessories, you can go on Amazon and get them the next day if you really want. With the Tongshen one, it's not. It's a specialty one, and for me, I would go with Bafang. I would if I was building a bike for myself or for anybody else, I'd go with the Bafang. It's not worth it to get the torque sensing for me, but that's just my opinion. Maybe for you, you're like, no, I really want torque sensing, and the price is it's the cheapest torque sensing mid motor you can buy. So if those are your check boxes, that's the motor to go. Hey, Michael, what's up, man? Thanks for all your comments too on the videos. You've been helpful as well. Yeah, if your bike, if your motor is starting to creak or groan or just making those old man noises, it's like oil me, Dorothy. You got to give it some lube. What's the fastest you've ever gone on an e-bike? Probably like mid 50s. On that Cyclone build. On my BBS HD, my cargo bike, I think I hit 45 going down a hill one time coming home. I had a full throttle and going down the steep hill, but physics starts to play a role and wind resistance really starts playing a role at that. And I had this big, heavy cargo bike. So, yeah, I don't know. I do want to make a video, though. That's still my bucket list video. I wanted to do it last year. I'm out of focus. Or no, you guys just need glasses. If you guys can't see me right now, you need to get your eyes checked because I am in person. I am perfect focus. I wanted to make a video getting like a road bike, super light road bike, and I wanted to slap a 72-volt Cyclone motor on it and just see how do like a road test, take it out to like the Bonneville Salt Flats. But Bonneville Salt Flats are not very flat. It might be good on a car when you're doing 200 miles an hour, but if you're on a bicycle with road tires, salt flats are not the way to go. I need to do it like on an airport runway or something, but I do want to see how fast I could get an e-bike to go. Hey, you're welcome, James. Glad you got your bike finished. And there's nothing like, then you guys, obviously I'm speaking to the choir now, but when you build your own bike, there's nothing like it. There's such a satisfaction that goes with it. And I don't know, there's something about it when you build your own bike. It's awesome. You've silicone spray on chains. Cool. Thanks for the tip, man. Any e-bike builders in Los Angeles? No, but I think there's some in Vegas. If you go to e-bike marketplace, I think they do some builds you might want to check out. Maybe it's a good reason for you to go to Vegas. Jory, what do you oh, you're crying. Jory's crying. Most of the e-bikes are out west. You mean e-bikers? I don't know. I feel like it's the coast. It's the West Coast and the East Coast. They're always the cutting edge. It's a cliche, but I think New York kind of came down hard on e-bikes when they first came out because they didn't trust them. And I think they've kind of relinquished it. But man, and that it really bums me out. I got video. I want to make a video on that too because I think it's such a shame when municipalities and lawmakers come down on e-bikes and they say they restrict them and they say no e-bikes or what. It's the dumbest thing. It's the absolute dumbest thing. In 100 years, if we're all still alive, those people are going to be. It's going to be one of those things where doctors used to smoke, and we're gonna be like, I can't believe they used to do that. I can't believe they were outlawing e-bikes. This is going to save our planet. It's going to save our health. It's the smartest thing to do. Um, right to repair. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for clarifying that. Yeah, that's another reason why I freaking hate when people you buy a Yamaha or a Bosch motor or a Bros motor. Try getting it repaired. Try repairing it. Now, get a Bafang. They're super easy to work on. Just do it yourself. I mean, you don't need to take it in somewhere. You could take it to me, and wait 3 weeks for me to get to it. But it's super easy. Or just replace the entire motor for like $250. It's crazy. But anyways, yeah, like e-bike laws. Look, holy crap! I've been talking for an hour. Yeah. Okay. Okay, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up in about 2 or 3 minutes because I've been going for about an hour. Some of you guys got to get to work, I'm sure. But like I said, if I didn't get to all your questions, feel free to book a consultation. Go to my website, johnnynerd.com, post a question to the forum. I mean, you can see the chats here. There's so many people out here that know their stuff that I'm sure are happy to help out. Feel free if you want to support the cause, support the pirate shit, man. We didn't get any sponsors. It's just grassroots from people like you guys. And extra big thanks to the people that supported me when I was literally nobody, had like a dozen subscribers and no videos, and people took chances on me converting their bikes, giving me $1,000 to convert their bikes with total trust. So thank you guys. Trying to think of what else I want to do. Let's see. I'll do one last question. Jay Fryer's at work. Oh man, hopefully you're on break. But also part of me kind of admires that you're doing this. Yeah, rails to trails. I love rails to trails. They need to be converting. We need an infrastructure. We need an infrastructure for e-bikes. That's what we need to start doing. Like, honestly, you want to make a difference, call up your local legislator, your local representative, and ask them what are they doing to make your town more e-bike friendly. Just email them that question. If enough of us do that, we'll make a change. And if you think like your voice will not be heard, it's a total lie because I've called my legislator and talked to them, and they've called me and they've talked, and like you could absolutely make a difference. So don't think that your voice is voiceless. Find out who your representative is. They're working for you. I mean, absolutely. When they want to get votes, they want to make you happy. And if enough of us, if they keep hearing the same message all the time of people want to know what I'm doing to make this place more e-bike friendly, they're going to address it, or they're going to be out, and we're going to put somebody in who will. My brother spent $6,400 for his trick bike. Whoa. Hey, thanks, Rory. Appreciate that. Hopefully this wasn't too manic and too all over the place. But man, I love talking to e-bikes. I'm so glad that you guys were somebody actually showed up. I thought it was just gonna be me talking. But my wife was like, "Here, if nobody shows up, just here's a bunch of things to talk about." And I'm like, "All right, I just give me 3 talking points. I'll talk about that." But all right, we're almost at about an hour. So thanks, guys. Check out johnnynerd.com if you want to book a consultation. If you don't want to spend the money, I totally get it. Book a question to the forum. You could even email me, but sometimes I'm really slow at emailing in, and I get bombarded with emails. So sometimes I got to just give you short responses. So if you have something that's like detailed, consider booking a consultation. Like, it really helps me out with scheduling and being able to help you in a much better way. But Really appreciate you guys coming in, and thanks for the guys who sent in those donations. That was really awesome of you guys. Really appreciate it. So cool. All right. Thanks, guys. I'm signing off.